Welcome back to Inside Her World. I'm Sarah, I'm here with Emma, and this is one of our 5-minute reviews where we talk about how books feel, but also what kind of story you're actually stepping into, without spoilers. And today we're talking about A Court of Thorns and Roses.
So if you're new to this book, it probably helps to know what sort of fantasy this actually is. At its core, it's a fantasy romance that starts in a very harsh, survival-focused world and then slowly opens out into something much more dangerous and unfamiliar.
Exactly. The story centres on a young woman whose life is very limited at the beginning. She's practical, tough, focused on getting through each day. And then she's pulled into a completely different world with its own rules and power structures. And yeah, that shift really shapes the whole book.
And what's interesting is that the story doesn't rush that transition. You're allowed to really feel the contrast between those two worlds, and that makes it land more heavily. Like, you feel how disorienting it is.
And it's probably worth saying that this book sits right on the line between fantasy and romance. The romantic tension is there, but it builds slowly. It's not immediate, it's not rushed. It's kind of woven in alongside the world and the emotional stakes.
So if you're expecting instant battles or constant action, that's not really what this book is doing. It's much more of a slow build, blending fantasy, romance, and this almost folklore-style atmosphere that unfolds gradually.
And once you're in it, the way it feels to read is very different to something like Fourth Wing. That felt fast and intense, almost breathless at times. This feels slower, heavier, like it wants you to settle into it rather than rush through.
You spend a lot of time inside the main character's head. You're sitting with her thoughts, her reactions, her uncertainty. And I think that really shapes the reading experience because you're not just watching things happen, you're sort of living them with her.
And the setting plays a big part in that too. It shifts from something quite grounded and bleak into a world that's beautiful but also unsettling. It looks safe on the surface, but you don't fully relax into it. There's always this sense of something underneath.
Exactly. There's this low-level tension running all the time. Nothing is screaming at you, but you're always slightly aware that things could change, that there are rules you don't fully understand yet.
And the pacing really supports that feeling. The world building isn't thrown at you all at once. It unfolds slowly, cautiously almost, which gives the story this quiet intensity.
You're not racing from scene to scene, you're lingering. You're noticing tone, pauses, small shifts in behaviour. It's the kind of book that makes you read a bit more carefully, like you don't want to miss the undercurrent.
And emotionally, a lot of it is about identity, about being capable in one life and then suddenly realising that those skills don't fully translate somewhere else. I think that's something that really resonates with people.
Yeah, especially that feeling of losing control, watching someone who's strong in one context have to renegotiate what strength even looks like in another. That can feel quite uncomfortable to sit with.
And although it's clearly fantasy, the emotional pull isn't really about the magic itself. It's about that internal shift happening alongside the story. The magic just kind of amplifies what's already going on inside her.
So if you enjoy atmosphere, slow tension and stories that build their emotional weight gradually, this really works. It's not a book you rush through. It's one you sort of sink into, like you want to stay in that space for a while.
And it's probably a good fit if you like character-led fantasy, where the emotional journey matters as much as the world itself, and where the payoff comes from immersion rather than speed.
And by the time you put it down, it's not specific scenes that tend to stay with you. It's the mood, the tone, that slightly heavy, absorbing feeling that lingers afterwards.
I think that's why people either really connect with this book or bounce off it. If you like being immersed and sitting with a story, it gives you a lot. If you want constant action, it might feel too quiet.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time with another 5-minute review.